Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the September 11th, 2023 Mason City Council meeting. I am going to call this meeting to order and ask for a roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Nelson.
Here.
Councilmember Chance.
Here.
Councilmember Bradburn.
Present.
Councilmember Hackey.
Here.
Councilmember Grossman.
Here.
Councilmember Stricula.
Here.
Mayor Spaeth.
Let's all stand for a moment of silence in memory of the victims of the attacks of 9/11, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will need the minutes from August 3rd special council meeting, the August 14th, 2023 council meeting, and the August 28th special council meeting. I need a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
All opposed? Anyone abstain?
I need to abstain from August 28th special meeting. Thank you.
All right, now it's time for the manager's report. Eric?
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I do have several items I'll move through rapidly. First of all, we're continuing to celebrate the city's ranking as the 4th best place to live. Throughout this month of September, the city is focusing on building compassion, and we have a number of activities along that theme. That includes a Recognize a Good Neighbor campaign, Compassion Action Sidewalk Chalk Challenge. The city is also partnering with the Mason Food Pantry to host community-wide food drive to help replenish items in the food pantry. The city is also promoting some of our programs such as Bridging Stories. Bridging Stories is a 4-week program designed to bring people from all walks of life together to discuss their own stories, adversity, change, and how that impacts the community. Also encouraging residents to support the small business community in Mason and consider paying it forward to encourage residents to do other similar acts of compassion. Heritage Festival is nearly upon us this Saturday, September 16th, focused on the Mason Downtown Plaza. Important to recognize the Heritage Festival Parade. Again this year will begin at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. It starts at the corner of Foxfield and Mason Montgomery. It is right outside here, the northern end of the Municipal Center. It then heads north on Mason Montgomery, turns west onto US Route 42 towards the downtown plaza, and then it disbands near 4th Avenue on US 42. So guests are encouraged to watch the parade along that route, especially near the downtown plaza where short performances by several of the parade participants will be done. Following the parade, the event will have kids' activities, vendors, there will be music entertainment, and finally, new this year, a drone show until 10 p.m. Obviously, the event remains free, open to the public. There's something for all ages. The Community Center and the Municipal Aquatic Center will be open from 7 a.m. to noon on that Saturday. And I'm sorry, the Aquatic Center will actually be closed to help both staff and encourage residents to attend the event. Coming up on Friday, September 29th, the city is partnering with the Southwest Ohio Philharmonic to host a free outdoor patriotic concert. It will be held at Corwin M. Nixon, 6 p.m., again on Friday, September 29th. The intention is to honor what is the 20th anniversary of the Mason Veterans Memorial, which is currently being rehabbed for unveiling on Veterans Day, November 11th. Community members are welcome to come early to the event. Begin at 5 p.m. There will be food trucks. American Legion Post 194 is partnering with water and soft drinks. And there will be a performance by the Northern Cincinnati Youth Orchestra. They'll begin at 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. That'll be followed by the 90-minute performance focusing on classic and patriotic songs throughout the United States history. Reminding Council Family Promise having their 25th anniversary gala on Sunday, October 1st. If you're interested in attending, please let Jennifer know. Also, World Inclusion Day is being held on Sunday, October 8th at McKeno Park. That'll be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The purpose of the event is to celebrate the diversity as well as the unity that brings different people, different backgrounds and abilities together within the city of Mason. Anticipated day filled with sports, recreation, workshops, and other activities featuring a variety of organizations. There's also, coming up, the increasingly popular Historical Society's annual cemetery walk is scheduled for Tuesday, October 10th at 7 p.m. That again will take place at Rose Hill Cemetery. And last but not least, on Saturday, October 14th, the now 9th annual Mason Corporate Challenge will take place. Begins at 9 a.m. at the Grizzly Golf and Social Lodge. This is a very popular event engaging Mason's corporate community, their employees, in a 5K walk run that's designed to raise funds for different charitable causes to those corporations, as well as create some community amongst our corporate community, as well as maybe a little bit of friendly rivalry. For more information on that, please visit www.masoncorporatechallenge.com. Each participant does receive a $20 Come Together Mason gift card that can be used at local businesses. Those are all my calendar items. I do have 3 liquor permits, Vice Mayor. For consideration, the first is a new permit to Maha Foods LLC, doing business as BMAS. It is a D3, which is spirituous liquor for on-premises consumption only until 1 a.m. Council may request a hearing or not request a hearing and do that via motion.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion not to request a hearing.
Second? All in favor?
Yes.
All opposed?
Second is a transfer of ownership to the new owner, Ramon's Cantiba LLC. It is a D1, D2, D3, D6. Beer only for on-premises consumption, sealed containers for carryout until 1 a.m. Wine and certain prepackaged mixed drinks for on-premises consumption in sealed containers for carryout until 1 a.m. Spirituous liquor for on-premises consumption only until 1 a.m. And sale of intoxicating liquor on Sunday between the hours of 1 p.m. and midnight. Again, council can request a hearing or not request a hearing.
Do I have a motion?
Make a motion we not request a hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
All opposed?
And the last liquor permit here, Vice Mayor, is to Dorothy Lane Markets, Springboro LLC, doing business as Dorothy Lane Market, 7200 Mason Montgomery Road. It is a D5, which is spirituous liquor for on-premises consumption only, beer and wine for on-premises and off-premises, in original sealed containers until 2:30 a.m. Again, via motion, can request or not request a hearing.
Make a motion not to request a hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
All opposed?
Vice Mayor, another item of business would request that council consider adding an executive session to the end of our agenda tonight. I think can do that via motion.
Yes.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'm sorry, for purposes of property acquisition and disposition.
So moved.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed?
And Mayor, one last item, Vice Mayor, one last item, if I may. Typically, the MAID CDC has representatives at our meeting to give updates. I received a call this afternoon based on a couple of sudden conflicts. They were not able to make it, but asked that I provide the following input. So if you'd like, I can read that on their behalf.
That would be great.
The community input from the August workshop is available at makethemile.com. Thanks to the Journal News, that information will also be shared this week through their media outlets to ensure that the public is aware that the community input is available for review and any additional input. The consulting team is now drafting the background report, which will be provided in draft form to the CDC for review by the first week of October. While MAID CDC is reviewing that report, the consulting team will complete a draft of the strategy, which will be submitted by October 31st. The consultants requested to emphasize that the timing here has been delayed due to moving the public workshop from July to August. That was in order to allow more time for vetting of concepts among property owners and stakeholders and to plan further out for a successful community workshop. They do believe that that strategy worked well, but it did mean that it placed the written report about 4 to 6 weeks further out than the September target date. More to come in October, but in the meantime, please feel free to review the concepts and feedback and let MAID CDC know if you have any questions. That's all I have.
Thank you, Eric. And you know, it's really exciting with the D5 liquor permit for Dorothy Lane Market. We've had a lot of questions as to when it's going to open, and it is on track to open in 2025. Okay, next we have recognition of visitors. Would anybody like to go to the podium and address council? If you can state your name and your address.
So my name is Mugdha Godbole, and address 8072 Winding Creek Code. So today we are here to represent, we are a group, and as you can see, we all are here to let you guys know about a special thing. It's called as a Universal Oneness Day that we celebrate and it's called as Raksha Bandhan, if you will. But we are here to give you some information about it. How is it celebrated? Why is it celebrated? And at the end, we would like to request you something special. So let's see how it goes. So I would like to read something about our organization, that what we do. So, so first of all, good evening and namaste, Mayor Barbara Speth, council members, and all the citizens of Mason City. My name, as I said, is Mugdha Godbole, and I'm a volunteer of Hindu Swayamsevak Sangha, which is called as HSS. So last year, we celebrated our Hindu Darshana, which was right here in the Mason building or the city building. So that exhibition provided an overview of Hinduism and its underlying traditions. So today, our volunteers are here to celebrate the Hindu festival, which I said was Raksha Bandhan. The Hindu Swayamsevak Sangha, so what is it? It is a 501c3 non-profit cultural, voluntary, social, educational organization. So our vision is world peace through dharma. And our mission is to organize a diverse and vibrant Hindu-American society that can collectively address its challenges and contribute to the welfare of the world. HSS conducts regular value-based educational programs for children, youth, and adults in more than 240 branches nationwide. So we are in different areas of the nation. We also organize service activities and community outreach projects. Through our regular educational programs based on dharma, we instill and promote discipline, self-confidence, teamwork, and spirit of selfless service. HSS USA endeavors to instill pride in Hindu heritage among its members and to enhance appreciation of Hindus around the world, their traditions and civilization by engaging with the broader community in the United States. In keeping with our mission statement and continuing the tradition, we recently celebrated the festival of Raksha Bandhan on August 31st. Raksha Bandhan aims to create a sense of universal oneness and to help build a society that is cohesive, tolerant, and peaceful. Raksha Bandhan symbolizes a spirit of brotherhood and harmony among all sections of society, irrespective of race, religion, and color. On this auspicious occasion, we inspire ourselves with the true spirit of service and sacrifice for the welfare of society and find therein the highest spiritual fulfillment of human life. Today, our volunteers would like to tie, it's a small friendship band kind of a thread that we request you, if you can maybe come to us, we can tie to each one of you this band. This band is just a band of Raksha. What it means is protection in pure language. and security that our city officers are committed to provide us. And in return, we as residents of Mason City and of United States commit to abide by the law and being dutiful citizens. So just last weekend, we were here in the Mason Police Department. The Steve Temple, he's a police officer there. He and his team was very welcoming. They were happy to have us over. We gave a small presentation of what we do, and they were very happy to show us around, and we were very gracefully thankful for what they did for us. So I would really request if we can have that pleasure today of tying this band to each one of you. We have our volunteers here ready for you guys, and we have brought some small sweets for you. We would like to do that if you permit us or if you allow us.
Sure. Are you going to be coming up here to tie the band?
We
then?
can.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great.
We can, yeah. Thank you so much.
Would it help if council members extended? Take a picture.
Okay, is there any other, would anyone else like to come to the podium to address council? Okay. Next, number 8 on our agenda is Resolution 2023-23. I need a motion to read by title only, please.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed?
A resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Warren County Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
Eric?
Yes, thank you. I have run out of ways to make this exciting or interesting. This is not the city's budget. This is actually the conclusion of what is called the tax budget process. That serves two purposes. It allows us to qualify or demonstrate a need for distribution of local government funds, basically bringing money that the state collects back to our community. It is also used for finalizing property tax rates. What this resolution does is it's the final step. The county has now certified those rates, and council now accepts those as the final act here. Of note here is that the city's safety which is the significant millage in this, remains at 4.4 mils in property tax to fund safety services. That is lower than rates that were previous in effect, lower than surrounding jurisdiction rates, and the city has been successful for, looks like, 12 years in keeping that rate at that amount. So that this does confirm that, as well as accepts the other rates established by Warren County. It is recommended for adoption.
Okay, I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? I need a motion to adopt. Council discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn? Yes. Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes. Okay, number 9 is ordinance 2023-74. I need a motion to read by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed?
Approval of the dedication plat for Reading Road Islamic Center Daycare.
Kurt, can you give us a discussion on it?
Yes, thank you, Vice Mayor and Council. This plat is a dedication of right-of-way to meet the thoroughfare plan. The property is located on US 42 at 1005 Reading Road. It is just north of Donna Jean Boulevard, and it's Zone B3. The future use of this property is for Islamic Center daycare facility, and so they're doing it, as I said, to meet the requirements of the thoroughfare plan. And with that, it is recommended for adoption by Planning Commission, who reviewed it at last Tuesday's, the September 5th Planning Commission meeting. So with that, ordinance 2023-74 is recommended for adoption.
Okay. Motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
Second?
Any council discussion? Okay, let's have a roll call.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Okay, number 10 is ordinance 2023-75. I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed?
Approval of the record plat for the Hatch subdivision.
Kurt?
Yes, thank you, Vice Mayor and Council. This was also reviewed by Planning Commission at the September 5th meeting. This is also dedicating right-of-way to meet the thoroughfare plan. In addition, it is consolidating existing 3 parcels into 1 parcel in addition to dedicating the right-of-way. A portion of it is outside of the city, so it's also going to go to the county for approval as well. Ordinance 2023-75 is recommended for adoption. I'll answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
Moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second?
Council discussion? Okay, let's do roll call.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-76. I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved?
All in favor? Anyone opposed?
Authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Warren County Soil and Water Conservation District for education, inspection, and associated services necessary to meet the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination, NPDES, Phase 2 requirements for 2024 through 2028, not to exceed $45,000 per year.
Okay, Jennifer?
Vice Mayor, members of council, since 2004, the city has entered into an annual agreement with the Warren County Soil and Water Conservation District to provide educational outreach, inspection services, employee training, as well as community assistance as it relates to stormwater inquiries and issues. The district provides these services on behalf of the city in order for us to comply and meet Ohio EPA regulations. While the city does provide or has provided financial support for the district for these services, the district also has secured matching state grant funding to offset the cost. Utilizing the district and sharing resources to provide these services eliminates the need for the city to hire additional personnel as a very cost-effective method to receive these services needed and to remain compliant with the Ohio EPA requirements. Most of their work is focused on inspecting construction sites, which the EPA requires for them to be inspected on a monthly basis, but they also provide educational outreach to our city schools, city school children, employees, but most notably to the HOA and residents who are responsible for retention and detention basins in the community. Educating homeowners as well as HOAs about the proper routine maintenance of these basins can prevent significant future maintenance costs. The city has historically passed annual legislation for this. Staff is recommending ordinance 2023-76, which authorizes the city manager to enter into a 5-year agreement for 2024 through 2028 in an amount not to exceed $45,000 annually. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
Second.
Is there any council discussion? Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Number 12 on the agenda is ordinance 2023-77. I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed?
Authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Xylem Water Solutions USA, Inc. for the purchase of flight raw influent sewage pump parts for the water reclamation plant in an amount not to exceed $81,700 and declaring an emergency.
Kurt?
Yes. Thank you, Vice Mayor and Council. Currently at the wastewater treatment plant, we have there's 6 pumps, actually. There's 4 110 horsepower pumps and 2 45 horsepower pumps. The 45 horsepower pumps are rarely used. Those are for super low flows, and really the lion's share of the work is done by the 110 horsepower pumps. Those are 4 pumps and 2 wet wells, and they take all of the flow, the raw sewage that comes down to the plant, and pump it to the head of the plant so that it can be treated. So these pumps get quite a bit of wear and tear throughout the year. Currently, we're operating on 1 spare pump, in addition to three others that are in operation. That was purchased back on the ordinance reference 2019-95. That spare pump has been put into operation, and we have a pump down that needs to be rebuilt. So this ordinance includes the parts to rebuild the current pump that's down, in addition to giving us parts for another 110 horsepower pump that might go out of service in the future, because these are all original equipment to the 2006 plant. So that's, in a nutshell, what this $81,700 purchase is for, is to rebuild a current pump and then parts to rebuild one in the future.
Okay.
If you have any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
Okay, I'd like a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
Moved.
Second?
Council discussion?
Mayor,
Yes.
to Kurt, did you say there's 4 pumps and a backup?
4 pumps and then 2 backups. The 45 horsepower pumps were really when the plant originally came online. We had very low nighttime flows. Those were used, but when they can't pump at the same time the 110 horsepower pumps are, because they can't overpower the 110. So they're really only used when they can. The wet wells are pumped all the way down, and they're the only pumps that are pumping to pump the wet wells down for maintenance.
Yeah, I'm good.
So.
Vice Mayor,
Yes,
the only comment I have, whoever has to rebuild these or replace
Yeah.
these, whoever that person is needs a pay raise. So,
Yes, Councilmember.
This is a question through the chair to Kurt. Do you know off the top of your head how much a 110 horsepower pump replacement is?
I don't. I talked with Sean earlier today. I don't know that he mentioned the full price, but this is the first pump that we've had to rebuild that needed a new stator, and that's where, like, if you look inside a motor, all the copper wire that's wound up, that's the stator portion of it. So this is the first pump that's required that replacement, so it's a little more involved than we typically get on our pumps.
Okay.
But I don't know the cost of a full replacement pump. It would have been, back in 2019, I can look up what that purchase was, and then probably add 20-30% to that, at least, if not double.
Well, while I trust your judgment, I was asking Eric today, it seems like a very expensive repair, and he guessed that you could get another 5 years of usage out of it if the repair takes, but I wondered if it would be a good idea to go ahead and order a 110 horsepower replacement pump so you're kind of ahead in case the repairs don't hold. It just seems like a lot to rehabilitate it unless you're very confident. And I don't know what a new one costs compared to the repair costs, but the repair costs are significant.
Yeah, they are. And this would be everything except the impeller on the pumps and with new bearings and seals and everything. It should last, I would think, more than 5 years. What we may look at in the future is taking out those two 45 horsepower pumps and replacing those with probably two more 110 horsepower pumps. So that what you're suggesting could happen in the future. It would take some piping and some in the control boards that control those pumps and the variable frequency drives, quite a bit more work than just replacing the pumps. So that's most likely what we would do in the future. And then these pumps, like right now, for instance, we have 2.5 million gallons a day coming in the evening when there's a low flow. And generally during the day, when it's dry time, like right now, about 5 million gallons a day come to the plant. So there are times overnight that one pump can keep up for a little bit of time before a second pump kicks on, and then they all rotate the service hours. So anyway, Eric.
Some of the things we have to discuss are very glamorous here.
Right, I'd like to say, Eric, you said that our tax ordinance was boring. I'd much rather talk about taxes and sewage.
Thank you for answering my questions.
Okay, if there's no other discussion, let's take roll.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn? Yes. Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Okay, next on the agenda is committee reports. Does anyone have a committee report they want to share?
Excuse me, Vice Mayor. I think your mic's not on.
My goodness. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's do that again. We're talking about committee reports, and the Veterans Committee met, and we got a quote to receive, a quote for cleaning, coating, and sealing the Wall of Tears, and we're putting it on a biannual schedule to keep it clean. The wall lights have been installed, and the wires have been run for the flagpole lights. Lights on the ground can change different colors and will be set on a timer. Our city employees have been preparing site preparation, removal of old landscaping and the gravel pile, and we'll be applying some grass seed. And let me see what else. The brick app is still under construction, but is promised to be done soon. And then we will have more updates next week on who our speakers will be. The Downtown Committee also met, and we have something exciting going on. Aside from the swap concert, which Eric talked about, which is going to be, what is it, the 29th? The 29th? We also have a resident-led initiative by Helen Fox and Peg Elfers called Picture Mason. And this is where residents can pick up canvases and create an artistic masterpiece that has something to do with Mason. These canvases will be showcased in 33 different local businesses, and it will be there will be an art walk from October 21st from 3 to 7 p.m., where you can walk around to the different businesses to view all the different masterpieces. If you would like to get a canvas, there's going to be a booth at the Heritage Festival, so you can pick up a canvas there. There's also canvas pickup at the Community Center, the Mason Municipal Center, and tomorrow there will be pickup at the Rec Center if you're interested. So this should be fun and exciting. And that is all we have for committee reports. Old and new business. Does anyone have anything for old and new business?
Vice Mayor. At the last council meeting, I think I requested a financial statement. Financials reference the, from the Mason Deerfield Chamber Community Development Corporation. It doesn't have the detail I would like. That I know that some of the detail like this has been asked of other nonprofits in the past. So I guess what I'm saying is I'd like to have the city manager go back. Actually, they're supposed to be, by the original ordinance, possibly outside funds that were come in. It doesn't show any of that. And then I also would like to have the detailed information that's behind this document that was provided to council of expenditures and to who and for what. Okay? It should be readily available because they had to go ahead and use that information to provide this document to us.
Already requested.
Already requested?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else have old or new business? Yes, Councilmember.
I've got a couple, as city manager alluded that back in the summer, we were voted the 4th safest place to live. Well, the other night at 3:50 a.m., knock on my door at my house, and I'm like, oh goodness. So my dog's going crazy, and I open the door, and there's 2 police officers. Well,
That's not good.
I have, that's.
Councilmember Chance, is your microphone on?
Sorry. All right. So anyways, 4th safest place to live. And next thing I know, like I said, they said, can you please come down here because we'd love to get in the building. So through discussions, I learned that our midnight police officers or our overnight police officers will actually get out of their vehicles and walk the streets of downtown, just checking businesses to see if there's anything out of the ordinary, anything like that. But essentially, and underneath the front deck, there was a whole 2x4 that was charred. And so I'm thinking if it was 5 or 10 minutes longer, my building, because all of our pillars are all wood, there would have been significant damage or just a total catastrophe. So I was highly impressed by that. I talked to the chief. I had no idea that, obviously I knew we had police officers at night patrolling, but I just wanted to give a huge shout out to them. I mean, that was, again, they saved, I think, my entire property. And it was, just by them being able to walk by it, and the flames were actually about 3 foot high at the time. So it was, that's, while we're sleeping, we take a lot of that for granted, and we have, our police force out there making sure we stay safe. So major kudos, and, I'd just like to extend a thank you to them again publicly. And then today, given that it is 9/11, I was able to go over to the county to where Robin Kiley she put on a memorial for 9/11. And I would encourage, if it is done again next year, which she does it every year, to go and check it out. It was absolutely incredible. Obviously a very somber scene, but she incorporates a lot of the schools around, and there was a gal that stood up, and English was her second language, and I forget exactly where she was from, but she wrote a poem about 9/11, and she's 17, I think, 16 or 17, so obviously not alive at the time, but I think it's extremely important to keep that in the forefront and let our future generations truly understand what happened that day, because I think, the theme of this morning was there was a lot of unity, there was a lot of oneness when we're dealing with all this crud we deal with now in regards to so much division and, just social media to where people love to, go and play and just basically create havoc. It was a time in our country, and I think that's something that we need to strive for again. And it was, so again, I just wanted to give Robin Kiley a major kudos for what she did and how she programmed it. It was incredible. And I would encourage anyone that next year to go and check it out. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I have 2 items. Ohio was ranked #1 in the Global Groundwork Index by Site Selection Magazine based on an analysis of job creation, capital expenditures, and strategic infrastructure development from 2019 to 2023. Mason has added a number of jobs which has contributed to this #1 ranking. From 2019 to 2023, the City of Mason has brought in approximately 1,328 jobs with $278 million of additional wages. This is thanks to Michelle Blair and our city staff for their relentless quest to bring jobs into our community. I love to continuously see the high rankings for the City of Mason and Ohio on a national level, so that's great. Governor DeWine has put mental health and addiction on the forefront by investing $90 million to strengthen our response services and programs. 37 regional projects will be receiving funding through the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. This funding is long overdue. I will be following this to see what services Warren County and Mason will see from this investment. And last but not least, but we do have cake for somebody's birthday. Councilmember Hackey? That's good. All right, do you guys want to sing happy birthday?
What cake did you choose? What do you mean? Oh,
It's a surprise. Okay.
I think it was probably red velvet, but I wouldn't swear to it.
Okay, so let's sing happy birthday. Councilmember Grossman, do you want to start?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mark. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, number 15 on the agenda is recognition of visitors. Would anybody like to come and address council at the podium? Okay.
Vice Mayor, if I could, and I apologize, I should have done this during old and new business, but I just want to thank our guests for coming in tonight. This is special. I have never actually worn anything like this. I don't do the bands, I don't do the bracelets, I don't even have a watch on. But I just want to say thank you. This is very special, and I really appreciate it. So thanks for being here tonight.
Okay, now I need a motion to adjourn into executive session for the purpose of acquisition, disposition of property.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Roll call.
Vice Mayor Nelson,
Yes.
Councilmember Chance,
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn,
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey,
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman,
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula.
Yes.
Mayor, if I can, we do not anticipate any action following executive session, so.